Welcome back to Good Day State Line. It's time to deck the halls and put up that tree in your living room. But maybe this year you want to try the real thing, a real tree in your house. You need a little help. That's where Mark Chisholm steps in. He's here tonight with tips to pick the best tree for the holidays. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing great, thanks.
So you seem to be an expert because, well, you're standing in front of a lot of trees. So we want to know all the tips from you, starting with, of course, what's the best place to buy a Christmas tree?
I like to support small business. I'm a small business person myself, and I think supporting small business helps the community. So that's a great place to go. We're staring at a farm here in Chesapeake, Virginia, Hickory Ridge Farms, and they do that. They support the community. They supply jobs. They do a lot of good. It's a live working farm all year round. But I also like charitable lots where, a portion of your money or all your money might go from the tree purchase to go right to a charity, like say a children's hospital, for example.
Well, that's perfect, especially obviously for this time of year to give a little when you're getting your tree for your family. So you've decided where to go, right? So now you got to pick out the tree. I do not know how to pick out trees. I know how to pick out like pineapple at the grocery store. I know where you're supposed to like tap and smell and check, but how do we tell if the tree is perfect to take home?
That makes perfect sense. We do something similar. We're not tapping so much, but you can smell them and see if it's the right smell for you because they do smell different. We have an assortment here all over the farm here. Some of these will smell very Christmassy, very sprucey, piney, if you will, even though they're fir trees. And some of them, if you break them, they'll actually smell like things like oranges. Doug fir smells like an orange when you break it. That might be something that's more pleasing to you. But when we look at the trees, get the right size first and foremost. Don't bring a 16-foot tall tree home and then have an 8-foot ceiling because you're going to cut the tree in half. But then once you do that, start looking at the different trees that we have. For example, there's different colors, but there's also different shapes, and there's also different densities where maybe a tree is too dense, you can't get your ornaments on. Maybe it's too sparse. But I'd also say when you look at them, grab them and feel them, because some of the trees that might end up in a farm or on a live farm where you're going to U-cut, they could be something that grows real locally, like a spruce. And spruces aren't the easiest to decorate because they're real prickly and they're not much fun.
You don't want that at all.
Right.
I think one of the questions a lot of people, maybe it's their first time buying, a real tree this year. How do you decide that this tree is like fresh enough to take home with you to last a little while before you have to get rid of it?
That's a great question. You don't want to die in 2 days before Christmas. So what I like to do is a couple of things. I'll look at the color. How green is it? Is it the color it should be? If it's yellowing or browning, it's showing you signs of stress that it's dying off. But a real good test that I like to do, I do this all the time, is I'll grab the branch, I'll pull it through my hands in reverse like so, see how many needles fall off. If 1 or 2 needles fall off, that's normal, and that's a healthy tree. It's a fresh tree. If half of them fall off, move on to the next one and try it again. Also, check it for flexibility. Bend the branch. See if it breaks. If it doesn't break, it's pretty pliable. That's good. And if it bounces back, it's even better. And that's a good way to check for freshness.
Once we take it home, how do we make sure it stays fresh again, at least till Christmas morning?
Right. Well, the first thing I do is I grab like my battery-powered steel chainsaw. I make a fresh cut about 1 inch or 2 up from the bottom, nice and level, so it'll stand well. But when you do that, you get rid of like the dying material, the dried up material, and that's going to not allow it to pull water up as readily as it should. So we make a fresh cut, put it right in water, and then try prepping it for bringing it indoors. Once it's in the water, I'll start getting rid of all the debris. If it's a small tree, maybe you grab it and you bang it a few times and it rattles it loose. But if it's a big tree, grab a leaf blower, walk around, get all over it, and what you'll see is you'll get rid of all the loose needles. You get rid of like leaf litter. You'll get rid of any insects like spiders that may have taken up home there, or even a random squirrel that wants to come into the living room with you when you're not looking.
All right, the last question we have for you, Mark. When it is time to recycle the tree, what's the right way to do that?
A lot of places around the country, you can just put it out by the curb. The towns will come pick it up for you for free. They'll recycle them into mulch, and then you can go get that mulch for free. They'll give it right back to the residents. But 2 other creative ways I like to also look at is some places will take the trees, they'll collect them from you. They'll put them into like spots like for like say fish habitat. They'll submerge them in ponds, and that'll be a great thing for the fish. Or by me, if you're living on a shore like I do, they'll take them, they'll put them all along the dunes and keep the dunes from eroding over the winter. And then that'll actually break down and feed the plant life on the dunes as well.
Cool. All right, where can we go for some more information?
I say a great resource is tipsfortrees.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Mark.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We'll be right back with Q98.5's Lil Zim and JB Love for Air Friday.